Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in Gelderland. I don't actually need to plough this entire field. That's not something that we're going to need to do. And it's probably a good job because with the very wide plough lines that we're putting in now, it means that we're going to have a sort of a bit of a mess here anyway. So what I'm thinking is we will get a direct drill. Although I think that one that is planting at the moment is actually a direct drill. But we'll get another one, and we'll get that one working over here. I did wonder, actually, about doing the first planting in here with a whole load of little tractors. You remember we had a team of tractors doing some planting quite some time ago? Kind of like the idea of doing that here in this field. I don't want to do that today. But I think that's something we'll potentially come back to that. I mean, or what we could do is we could do one that's a little bit closer to the dealership. Although, actually, that's part of the fun, is getting all of the machines to the field. Like, I did enjoy that bit of it. And we didn't have to go very far. This is, like, on the opposite end of the map. So you've got a lot further to go to make this work properly. I think that could... I really do think that could be quite good fun. I'll have a think about that. Not quite sure if I want to do it or not just yet. But we'll see. Right. We want to come on down here to finish doing this bit. So basically, how I did the ditches here, because they're sort of all over the place, like you can't just use the tool that levels out the terrain and gets it all the same height. So what I did was I went through the ditches and used the raise the terrain tools, just for those of you who like to know how I do these little bits. I used the raise terrain tool first and raised it right up really high, so that there was a ridge where the ditch was. I basically turned it from a ditch into a ridge all the way through. And then once I'd done that, I then went back over with the smoothing tool and smoothed it back down. I made the smoothing tool go as wide as it possibly could and smoothed it down across the entire area. It did take quite a while. The smoothing tool is not very fast, and there is a feature that you can increase or decrease the the strength of the brush that you use. However, that brush strength thing doesn't actually work on the smoothing tool. It always smooths at exactly the same rate, which when you've got a big hump in a long line across your field to smooth out again, it's a bit of a nuisance because it does take absolutely ages to do it, but it's worth it. It gives a really nice finish that stays in line with all the rest of the contours of the field. So although it did take me quite a while to do it, it was absolutely worth it. I think it took nearly as long to remove all of the trees, by the way. There's a lot of trees here, up and down all of them, especially when I added in the grass field at the top end. That kind of added in a load more work to go and do. But it was, ultimately, I think it was worth it. So we've now got this massive, great big field, and wheat is going to be our first crop from here. So we're going to have a nice lot of straw. We're going to have all the grain. That's going to be feeding the mill and the bakery and everything else. We're going to have absolutely masses of it. It's going to be wondrous. And it can be interesting to see how much we actually get from here. I have no idea at the moment, but we will find out. So I've just got this one last line to do here, and I think that is all of the ploughing that we need to do to join up all of these fields. So then we need to go and buy ourselves a seed drill and get that one loaded up. That needs to be filled with seed and fertilizer, and then we can bring it up here and we can get cracking on this job. So let's just take this one down through here. I also went over everything with the smoothing tool, like in between all the fields, over all the fields, everything, all the way over it, so there were no bumps and ledges or anything. Sometimes you do get that in between the little fields. So I made sure that all of that was completely removed and we got nice, smooth, even fields all the way through. Very important to make sure that you get that done right. Okay, I think that's everything that we want to do. We have a look in here now. So it goes all the way up to field 66 up there. We don't have lime enabled on this one. There's the plough lines joining the edges, and it's cultivated down through there because of the other plough, which does cultivation as well. We've got a little bit here on the edges there. I think that's looking pretty good. Right, so we want to plant wheat in here, which means I need to take this one back down to our farm. I'm thinking Well, I'm going to try and get back this way. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to. Actually, I can. I just can't go through the middle of town with these wheels on. We know that we can't do that. So what I'm going to need to do is shortcut across this field over here. I really should stick to roads, shouldn't I? Yeah, but no. We'll shortcut across the field right here. And we'll take this road up here. That's where the electricity pylon was. So we're going to take this road here. If we can. There we go. Come on through here. And this is where it gets a little bit more difficult because of the traffic. Yeah, I should probably have my beacons on. That collision was probably my fault because I had beacons on. Oh, I nearly got... Did I get him? I don't know. Someone do the action replay and tell me in the comments. Did I actually get that guy or not? Because you get 3 points for each person. It's just like real life. Please do not copy anything I do or say at home. I shouldn't have to tell you that by now, by the way. Right? I absolutely should not be having to tell you that it's not a good idea to copy the things I do. Right? You'd think you'd have learnt that by this point. But I still better say it just in case. It's always a good idea to cover yourself for, you know, just any eventuality. That there may be someone who's convinced that I'm actually correct on something. That is a dark path. That is not a path you want to travel down. That is a path filled with darkness and despair. Do not travel down that road. Okay, let me... wait a minute. Oops, there. Right, if I unhitch that one, then I can clean the plow, and then we can put it away in the shed. Oops. We can put it away in the shed, like that. Now we need a seed drill. So, we have one seed drill that is currently planting canola. That one's absolutely fine. But I need another seed drill. I need a different seed drill. I don't want that one. I just need one that will do my planting and is also a direct drill. But I'm pretty certain actually the one that we're using there is a direct drill, because there was a small patch that hadn't been ploughed, and it did actually drill it. So I'm fairly convinced that it is actually a direct drill. It's just slow. Look at it. It's like only 38 kilometers an hour. It's yeah. I mean, it's doing fine where it is, but we need something else with a big field that we got up here. I am kind of thinking massive, but it's getting it there. Although massive is fun. We haven't done that for a little bit. We did have the massive seed drill. Interested noises coming from Frithgar right now. Let me have a look. The problem is they can't go very fast. They only go to 28 kilometers an hour. Even with our extra boost. That is a slight problem. So I can go and get a Stevie one. Like, he's done that one to 26. So that means I can put it up to 36. But that's about it. This one right here. Well, actually, there's that one. That one can do 38 kilometers an hour. And it's 18 meters wide. I kind of like that idea. Let's do it. So this one right here. We can put this all the way up to 38 with the working speed mod. It gives you an extra 10k potential on anything. And I can also give this any color I want. I've done pink. I've done the whole pink thing. Let's try something else. Apparently you can't change the yellow that's on there. That stays as yellow. I'm putting a little bit of pink in. There's a few little pink bits in there. Alrighty then. Wonderful color configurations that we've got going on here. I really like it. I can't remember if that tank is supposed to go... I think the tank goes at the back, doesn't it? Let's have a look. I'm going to jump off and just take a look, because we should be able to see if there's like pipes and stuff. Yeah, that one goes behind this one. Bring it back here. Huh. It might not go back there because, you know, what with it not having any hitch, whereas there is a hitch on the back of that one. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe that tank goes first, and then the other bit goes behind it. Just a niggling suspicion that I've got. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could easily be wrong. So we have got 20,000 litres of space for seed, and we've got 9,200 litres of space for fertilizer. So So let's bring you not around like that. Let's straighten you out a little bit better and try that again. And we'll bring you back over here. Nope. Let's try actually lining you up. Putting you in the middle. There we go. I knew that I could do this. Now then, we have got wheat, barley, potatoes, sugar beet, corn, canola, oats, sugarcane, sunflowers, soybeans, oilseed radish, cotton, grass, poplar, what do you call, sorghum, wheat. Wheat is the one that I want here. So we're going to run this bad boy right here. Let's put the beacons on. And we're going to take this one back to the farm. Now, this tractor, although it's 1,000 horsepower, it does struggle to pull the really big stuff like this. More than some of the bigger tractors do. So, like, the bigger tractors, we got, like, well, I was going to say the Big Bud, but the Big Bud's got more power than this one. Some of the others don't have more power than this one, but they still seem to be able to do a better job of pulling them around. I guess it's just because of the bigger size of the tractor, and somehow it's affected in the game. Anyway, this one here has now been planted. I think it has all been planted in full. Let's go over there and have a look. Zoom in a bit. Right, that looks pretty good. That does actually look pretty good. So we will back out of there. Take this one over here, and we can get this one started on the second field, and then as soon as the hired help starts on that one, we can then jump back to our tractor right here. We need to go back to the yard, and we need to fill it up with seed, and then once we've done that, we can then get started on the actual planting job. Let's bounce our way through there, and I want to start that one up like that, and I want to bring it round here, and I want to basically put it in sort of like halfway across like that. And then start there. I'm not sure what he's going to do down the other end for turning, so we'll just have to double check that when we finish the field and just sort of come back through and make sure that everything is tickety-boo there. Should be alright. I can't see there being a problem. Next up, this one needs to be filled with seed. So we'll... well, seed and fertilizer, but we can get both of those from the same tank. I'm going to need to unhitch the seed drill, though. And then I'm not entirely sure how we do this with the bit over there, because whether I've got to... maybe I can do it with the seed drill on. Let's have a look. Right, so that one goes to there. I don't want that back one. I want that front one there. And then unfold seeder. No, I don't want that. Select seed, open cover. So I do that. Oh, right, okay. So that does the double cover bit there. So I'm guessing that what I need to do is I need to put that little spout there underneath this one. And that will allow us to fill it up. Let's see if that works. I can line that up. There we go. Right, select seed, open next. Start filling. Right, it does actually work. Start I love how fast this thing is. That's brilliant. Right, let's open up the next cover. So we put seed in there and then... oh, I didn't like that, did it? Didn't like that at all. Right, well, I don't actually want to do that because I've got over here like 25 million bags of seed. So if I go and get some of that, I should be able to stick this one next to the seed and do it. I mean, if I can't, I just lift up the seed and dump it in. But I think what I can do is I can go over next to it. There we go. Refill additional tank. Right, this is a little bit slower than our machine over there, but it still works. That's the important thing. I'm going to fill it all the way to the brim. Not entirely sure why I feel the need to fill this thing all the way to the brim, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because, I mean, I think all of this fertilizer bags, I think they got left here from the last time we had a giant seed drill, but this one's not quite so giant. I may end up taking this seed drill as one of the one. I'm kind of thinking of doing two, adding them to my cat pack. I'm kind of thinking that this would be a good one to use because we've got various options with this, and also I just like the fact that we've got a big seed drill. I don't want everything to be the same formula of the really tiny machinery doing the big jobs. So I kind of like the idea of this one being one that we can use as well. Now, we got choices then. We can choose which one we want to play around with each time. The other one, I've yet to pick out a seed drill that is suitable for what I want. That'll probably do. We've got 94% full now, so we can start heading up this way. Totally not driving in our field. It's a figment of your imagination. We will close that one up there. So I'm not going to be able to drag this through the middle of our town because we're just going to get hopelessly stuck. It would be a really, really dumb move to try to take this monstrous great big seed drill and tractor with these really wide tires through the middle of our town here. This would be the absolute worst possible decision that I could make with this vehicle. Let's do it. So far, so good. I want to try, 1, to get past that car, and 2, to get a speeding ticket. Those are my dreams. Do not stand in the way of my dream. He stood in the way of my dreams. Him getting in the way completely messed that up. No speeding ticket today. Now, I'm definitely not going to be able to get round the light there, so I'm going to have to go in this way. And then there's a car there, and also still a hedge, but I reckon I can bounce around and over that car. So I've done that bit all right, but there's the bit of wicker. Go on, you can do it. Go on. Come on, Bessie. Pull. Go on. You can do it. No. There's a wheel wrapped around that pole. All right, we nearly did it. We nearly did it. Okay? There, right. I feel right there a bit like that moment when Paul Walker walks up to Vin Diesel in the film and he goes, "Dude, I almost had you." You almost had me? You almost had me? You never had me. We almost had it. No, that's the light up there is just going, "No, you never had me. You never had me." It doesn't matter if you lose. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A winner is a winner and a loser is a loser. Can you guess what film I watched just recently? I don't know if anyone's going to be able to guess that. Like that was very, very obscure. There's no possible way that anyone is ever going to be able to guess that film because I didn't drop any names or anything like that. I feel that would have made it a little bit too easy if I'd gone and told you that it was Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. I absolutely wouldn't do something like that. I like to give you a challenge. Right, we need to plant wheat. Let's get some wheat planted. So I want to actually switch over to the drill bit. Get this unfolded there like that. And yes, we can drift a seed drill. An 18-meter seed drill can be drifted. Let's do it. Let's do it. We need to build up a little bit of speed. Build up a bit of speed, and then we need to get a good... See, 68 kilometers an hour doesn't feel like enough speed. But look at that go. Round he goes. There we... Beautiful. Beautiful. It's like poetry in motion. It really is. So, I reckon twice around the edge with this one. Without hitting the trees. Yeah, the trees definitely make it a little bit more difficult. So, we want to bring that in around like that. Alright, I'll tidy up that corner when I come back round again. Let's see if I can actually do this and keep it in a reasonably straight line while I go around this field. So, I can do 38 kilometers an hour, which is reasonable. It is a reasonable speed. There's quite a dip there towards the edge, although I think that's partly because my wheel is driving in the ditch. 38 kilometers an hour is a reasonable speed, but it's not fast enough. We're going to want something a bit faster than that, so that we will probably try to make a couple of tweaks to this. Right, I've missed a little tiny bit right out on the corner, but to be honest, I don't think getting that corner with this type of machine is a realistic expectation from either myself or from you, the viewer. So, yeah, we're not going to do that. And around here. So I quite like having this farm and keeping it here because it does mean that we do actually have to like do a little bit of work to keep the edges neat and tidy there. Well, like working around it. It's not just a simple square block that we're working through. And I kind of like that. It makes it feel a little bit more realistic, he says, as he's doing 38 kilometers an hour with an 18-meter seed drill and not an overly big tractor. Completely realistic. That's what we're all about. We're all about the realism here. How can I do this and actually get all the way into the corner? Can I even do it? Yeah, you can. Sort of. You just twist and turn a little bit like that. There we go. And we got another corner over here. I don't think it's going to work so well on this corner. Mainly because of the way that field is laid out. You know what? It doesn't actually matter. That'll be absolutely fine. And then we can come in across here like that. And just try to avoid the edges. See, it's not so bad with this one. With the really, really big seed drills, it's much more difficult to actually get round the corners, because it's much more difficult to actually judge the edges of the field and the seed drill. Although when I do things like that definitely doesn't help. Let me just do that, straighten it up a little bit. I definitely didn't reverse that one with the tines, the coulters down in the ground across like a lane. I wouldn't do that. That would absolutely destroy the machine with no possibility of redemption whatsoever. I wouldn't dream of doing such a thing. Now, as I am going to be doing this again, I'm going to do another round on this field. I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to press the hired help on here and see if it will actually go all the way down to the other end of the field. Well, he is traveling all the way down to the other end of the field, but he's also taking his sweet time about it. And that is going to be kind of the main thing with this field that we've got here, is the sheer ridiculousness of the amount of the time that it's going to take to do anything. So we definitely need seed drills that go faster, or seed drills that are bigger, one or the other. So that one will come down to there. I need to... Right. The other one has gone and stopped. The other one is finished. So I'm going to need to start that other one on the field again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one around there like that. And I'm going to just run down across here. So I'm going to do another manual run around this field. And then I can set the hired help going on this one, and then this one can start working its way through while I go and do another field. Go and move that other seed drill to the last field that it needs to go and do. What we also want to do is just come over there, get that little bit of a corner right there, and get that bit. Then I'm going to lift that one out. And we're going to drive over here, and I'm going to start doing this bit from over here. Because what I would like to do is allow the hired help to start working. But I would also like to have, we'll start the hired help working down those long runs. Because it's going to take ages for it to get through all of that, I think. Let me... You know what? I can do this. We can actually reach that. Let's drop that one in there. And I can go around there like that. Excellent. Right. Now I can bring this one up here. And in theory, I can reverse. Like this. Ooh. Okay, this one's a lot easier to reverse than the other really giant seed drill that we used, because this one's only got 2 pivot points. The other one had an extra pivot point in the shape of the extra wheels on the front of the seed tank, which made it that much more difficult. So if I drop that down there, and then I head off across this way, I'm curious actually, if I was to put this going, if I was to put the hired help going just on the single pass around the outside edge of the field that I've done, how much would it be able to do, and how much would I have to tidy up at the end of the job? I reckon it might be worth setting it on its path to greatness by doing that first. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get up here so that I've at least done 2 passes on this end. And then we're going to pull out there. I'm going to swing around here, and then I'm going to slide back in. Right there, at that angle. That's the one that we want. So then if I press H on there, lowers it down. And the hired help is now planting wheat. And look at that money run downwards. This is why we needed so much money. This field is not going to be a cheap field to plant. But if we go and have a look in here, right, okay, so I've got 1 field left to do over there. This field right here is a big old field. And we go there, soil composition. So there's going to be 2 lots of fertilizer up there. This is all going to have 1 lot of fertilizer on it. We're going to have to do a little bit of work on there. That's fine, we can do that. So you get to there. So I will need to go around and do some extra work on some of this. But not all of it. Like, a lot of this field is actually going to be just fine as it is. So the 1 pass, and then we'll do tidy up afterwards. I think it's going to work out just fine. And I want to go on up there. Hired help does have the right amount of overlap. We'll probably do with a little bit more overlap, actually. I mean, we don't have much in the way of hills in this series, so the overlap is not really going to be much of an issue. And down that way, we should have plenty of room to turn round. Now, I think we're doing a fair slice just on this bit here. This is a huge field. Like, we have really got an awful... Okay, so it doesn't actually do that either. It still stops. But I think that's because the trees are so close to this end. Be interesting to see how all of this plays out ultimately. But anyway, I'm quite happy with that. He's going to carry on and do a bit more work there. Where he's going up there... this bit right here, he's going up to there, and then he's going to stop, he's going to pull out, and then I'm going to turn off the hired help. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.